Hello students, welcome to all of you in today's class of logical database designing. In the last class, I was discussing about the closure of an attribute. Any relation is given, a set of functional dependencies is given, then how to find out the closure of an attribute. I explained that through a process, through an algorithm, and with a suitable example. In today's class, I am going to discuss about the redundant set of functional dependencies. Any relation is given which is a set of attributes, a set of functional dependencies is given, then how to find out the redundant set of functional dependencies, and if any, through an algorithm, if any set of functional dependencies will be found, then we will eliminate them from the set of functional dependencies. Then we will discuss about the cover. What is cover? Any relation is given to you, that is a set of attributes. Two sets of functional dependencies are given. Let's say H and I. I say H is a cover of I. It means that all the functional dependencies of I is in closure of H. Then we say H is a cover of I. If I say I is a cover of H, it means that all the functional dependencies of H is in closure of I. Then I will say I is a cover of H. When two sets of functional dependencies will be equivalent. If we take two sets of functional dependencies H and I, and if the closure of H will be equal to the closure of I, then we say that H and I both are equivalent set of functional dependencies. What we will do? We will first take the closure of H, which is a set of functional dependency, and we will take the closure of I, which is again a set of functional dependency. If both are having the same set of functional dependencies, then we say that H and I both are equivalent set of functional dependencies. Now, when a set of functional dependencies will be minimal, or how to find out the minimal cover? A cover H for I is said to be minimal cover if H is a cover for I, but no proper subset of H is a cover for I. That is the minimal cover for a set of average. But what is the condition for being a FD, a set of functional dependencies, for becoming minimal? Any set of functional dependencies H is given, and if we find out the minimal set of functional dependencies, then three conditions are there. We will apply the first condition, that every functional dependency in set of functional dependencies H should be in canonical form. What is the meaning of the canonical form? If all the functional dependencies, right hand side of all the functional dependencies are having single attribute, then that set of functional dependencies will be in canonical form. So if any set of functional dependencies are given, first you will check that all the functional dependencies are in canonical form, means right hand side of every functional dependency is having single attribute. Now the second condition. The second condition is that there should not be extraneous attribute. And in normal terms, if we talk about the external, what is the meaning of extraneous? It means that irrelevant. No relevance of that attribute. That is known as extraneous attribute. How to find out if we are checking the minimal set of functional dependency, how to find out that a particular set in a particular functional dependency, left hand side on the left determinant, in the determinant there is a extraneous attribute or not. First, let's understand the extraneous attribute. No attribute, the condition is this: no attribute on the left side of any FD in H is extraneous if there is a functional dependency X to Y is an FD in H, then there is no proper subset S of X such that S to Y can be used in place of X to Y. S to Y can be used in place of X to Y. I am again repeating. No attribute on the left side of any FD in H is extraneous if X to Y is an FD in H, then there is no proper subset S of X such that S to Y can be used in place of X to Y. Then third condition, that there should not be any redundant set of functional dependency. Then we can say that that particular set of functional dependency is minimal if all these three conditions are satisfied. What is that? What are those conditions? First one is that all the FD should be in canonical form. Second one, there should not be any extraneous attribute in any FD on the left hand side. Then third one is that there should not be any redundant FD in a set of given FDs. If these three conditions are followed, then we say that that particular set of functional dependency is minimal. Then we find out the minimal cover. As I earlier stated that a cover H, if two set of functional dependencies are given, H and I, a cover H for I is said to be a minimal cover of H is a cover for I, but no proper subset of H is a cover for I. That is the minimal cover. I will explain the concept of minimal cover with the help of suitable example. We are having a relation R and a set of functional dependency F. What is the algorithm for identifying the redundant functional dependencies? The first step is choose a candidate FD, say X to Y, and remove it from the set of functional dependency. How it will happen? In step 2, we will take an attribute determinant from this FD X to Y and assign it to result. We will apply a loop while result changes and the right hand side of this functional dependency y is not contained in the result, do. For each FD A to B remaining in the redundant set of functional dependencies. While we were calculating the closure of an attribute, at that time we were including A to B also. Here we will compare it A to B with the remaining in the reduced set of FDs. If A is a subset of result, then result will be result union B. And this process will be continued till this condition satisfies. Finally, if Y is a subset of result, then the FD X to Y will be redundant. Now let's see how the execution is going on. Try to understand with this example. We are having attribute a relation R which is having the attributes W, X, Y, Z, and set of functional dependencies are given W to Z, W to Y, and YZ to X, and WZ to Y. Means Z is function dependent on W, Y is function dependent on W, X is function dependent on YZ, and Y is function dependent on WZ. These are the 4 set of functional dependencies. We have to find out the redundant one, and through this algorithm we will find out the redundant FD and we will eliminate that from this set of FDs. Now let's take the first functional dependency W to Z. This is the key. What is this? This is the same as X to Y. Here X is W and Y is Z. Right? Then in this algorithm A to B, we will compare this with all these 3. Right? Then what is the process? The first W to Z. So here again, as in algorithm, we will assign W to result. We assign W to result. Now we search for an FD other than W to Z, that is A to B, in which W is determinant. We found one in W to Y. Now we assign W to Y to result. As per this algorithm, searching for an FD having a determinant which is contained in W to Y, W union Y, we have no such FD. We have no such FD in these remaining set of functional dependencies. Therefore, we are unable to show that Z is contained in the result. And we conclude that W to Z is a non-redundant functional dependency. So, W to Z can be in this set of functional dependency because this is non-redundant. Now another X to Y we will take, that is W to Y. This is X to Y, and we will compare it with these 3, W to Z, YZ to X, and WZ to Y. So let's see how the algorithm is running. W to Y, we assign W to result as described here because this is in the form of X to Y. Searching for an FD whose determinant is W, we find one is W2Z. Now we will compare with others. So we can say we can assign W union Z to result. As per this process, now we search an FD whose determinant is contained in W union Z. We find another one WZ to Y. Now this will be A to B, WZ to Y. Now W union Z to Y, and we can assign W union Z union Y to result. This while loop will be continued. Since Y is now contained in result, we can exit the while and conclude that W to Y is redundant. We now eliminate W to Y from set of FD. Now we have find out that this FD W to Y, after applying on this algorithm, this is redundant. So we will remove from the set of FD. Now we will take another one, that is Y Z to X. Here result, we will assign Y union Z to result. We look for an FD other than YZ to X or W to Y whose determinant is contained in Y union Z. We are finding none here. In the remaining, we are finding none. So YZ to X is a non-redundant. Now we will take the another one, that is WZ to Y. Here we will assign W union Z to result. Now we see the determinant W is contained in the result, so we could say we could add the right side of W to Z, Z to result, but it is already there. There is no other FD whose determinant is contained in W union Z except for W to Y. So it is non-redundant. So what is the final set of functional dependencies we found? That is W to Z, YZ to X and WZ to Y. So this is the procedure for finding out the redundant functional dependencies in a given set of functional dependency. Now, the concept of cover and equivalent set of FDs, as I stated earlier. If we take two sets of functional dependencies, if H and I are two sets of functional dependencies for some relation R, then H is a cover for I if every FD in I is also in H plus. This means that every FD in I can be derived from the FDs in H, or that I plus is a subset of H plus. To prove that H is a cover for I, examine each FD X to Y in I. We then calculate the closure of X in H by using, earlier we have stated the algorithm to find out the closure of an attribute X plus in H, and demonstrates that X plus contains the attributes of Y. If this holds true for all FDs in I, then H is a cover for I. For a relation R, two sets of FDs, H and I are said to be equivalent if and only if H is a cover of I and I is a cover of H. That is H plus equal to I plus. As I stated earlier. Now, minimal set of functional dependency. A set of FD H is said to be minimal if it satisfies the following conditions. What were the conditions? First, I told you that all the FD should be in canonical form. So the right side of every FD in H has a single attribute. This form is called canonical form of FDs. Then there should not be any extraneous attribute. So no attributes on the left side of any FD in H is extraneous. If X2Y is an FD in H, then there is no proper subset S of X such that S2Y can be used in place of X2Y. And the resulting set of equivalent to H and H has no redundant FD. This is the third condition. That there should not be any redundant FDs, which you can find out by using that algorithm. Now, how to find out the minimal cover for set of FDs? A cover H for I is said to be a minimal cover of H, is a cover for I, but no proper subset of H is a cover for I. What is the procedure? First of all, I will be assigned to H. All the functional dependencies of I will be assigned to H. Second, for each FD in H that is not in canonical form, that is of the form x2, y1, y2, yn, replace it with by the FDs x2, y1 up to x2, yn. Right? If any FD is given to you in this form x2, y1, y2, yn, then you will convert it into the canonical form like this: x2, y1, x2, y2, then x2, yn, and so on. Now you will eliminate the extraneous attributes. Sorry. For each FD x2y in H, for each attribute A that is an element of X, if H minus x2y means all the set of functional dependency except this one x2y, which we are taking, union x minus a, which is the attribute, all the attributes except it to y, is equivalent to H. Then what we will do? We will replace x to y with x minus a to y in H. Now we will eliminate the redundant FDs. For each remaining FD x2y in H, if H minus x2y means all the set of functional dependencies except this is equivalent to H, then we will remove this x2y from H. And in this way, we will find out that H is a cover of for I. Now, with the help of two examples, I will describe how to find out the minimal cover. Here its example: find the closures excluding trivial FDs and minimal covers of the following FD sets and find out whether they are the equivalent set. So here I am taking two set of functional dependencies, H and I. H is having the functional dependencies A to B, AB to C, D to AC and D to E. And I is having the set of functional dependencies A to BC and D to A. Now, we will find out the minimal cover. First, we will calculate the minimal cover of H. In this way, you have to solve. So first, I have converted this functional dependencies. It's apparent that A to B, AB to C, D to AC, D to E. Here, right hand side, this is not in canonical form. First, we will convert it into the canonical form. A to B, AB to C, D to A, D to C and D to E. That will become the canonical form. So now the H is in canonical form, A to B, AB to C, D to A, D to C, D to E. Now the second step is we will find out the extraneous attribute. So eliminate extraneous attributes if any from the determinant of all FDs. Now in all FDs, whatever the FDs are given in H, we will find out whether there is any extraneous attribute on the left hand side of these FDs. Sorry. Since A to B, so we can write by using the augmentation AA to AB. Since A to AB and AA to AB and A is A, right, as per the rule of reflexivity. Now it has become A to AB. Now we have applied on the first, we have first augmented A on both the side and then AA becomes A by using the reflexivity rule. Now the functional dependency is A to AB. Now since A to AB and AB to C, there is a transitive relation. So A to C. Then if this is so, then B is extraneous here. Then B is extraneous here. So we will left out this. Which may be eliminated. We will left out this particular functional dependency. So what is the final set of functional dependency? A to B, then A to C, which has come by applying the augmentation and rule or reflexivity rule. Then D to A, D to C, D to E. Then we will eliminate the redundant FDs by using the inference axioms. Eliminate FDs in H which are logically implied by other FDs in H. D to C, it's apparent that D to C is logically implied by D to A. So by using the transitive rule, D to A and A to C. Thus, D to C will be eliminated because this is not needed, because this is coming from these two set of functional dependencies. So we will remove this. Now what is the set of FDs? H is having A to B, A to C, D to A and D to E, right? And which is again equivalent to A to BC and D to AE. So this is the minimal cover for H, that is A to B, A to C, D to A and D to E. Sorry. Now, minimal cover of I. What is the I? See, here I is given. A to two functional dependency, A to B, C and D to A. We will use the decomposition here. Minimal cover of I. I is A to B, A to C, D to A, D to E. The first is all are in canonical form. Second thing, there is no extraneous attribute on the left hand side of any FD. Then you don't have to apply the rule of extraneous and canonical form. Third, eliminate FDs in I which are logically implied by other FDs in I. So there is no other such FDs which are logically implied by other FDs. If logically implied, then we will remove that. So I is having the set of FD A to B, A to C, D to A, D to E. By using the union law, we will A to BC and D to A. So here it's apparent that the minimal cover of H is equivalent to minimal cover of I. So we can say that that both the set of functional dependencies H and I are equivalent. Now let's see another example. Find the minimal cover of the following FD: A to BC, B to CA and C to AB. So what are the rules? The first thing you have to do, you have to convert it into the canonical form. Means all the right hand side of every FD will have the single attribute. Then we have converted it into it. A to B, then A to C. Then by using the decomposition law, then B to C and B to A, then C to A and C to B. Now all the attributes are in canonical form. First thing we have done. Now in the examination, if the question is asked, then you have to show all the steps. Then extraneous attribute. Eliminate extraneous attribute, if any, from the determinants of all FDs. Since all determinants are having only one attribute, so there is no extraneous attribute in the FDs of a given set of FDs. So there is no need to remove the extraneous attribute. Now we have to find out those FDs which are logically implied by other FDs. Here it's apparent from here that A to B is logically implied by the A to C and C to B. So we will remove A to B from the set of dependency. So what is the final set of functional dependency? A to C, B to C, B to A, C to A and C to B. Now again it's apparent that B to C is logically implied by B to A and A to C. So we will remove B to C again. Then remaining set of functional dependency A to C, B to A, C to A, C to B. Now again we are looking that C to A is logically implied by C to B and B to A. So C to A will be removed from this set of functional dependency, and the final set of functional dependency is A to C, B to A and C to B. This is the minimal cover of a particular set of functional dependency H. So in this way, first thing, very simple, in the examination if the question comes, first you check the canonical form, whether all the FDs are in canonical form. then you, if not, then you convert that into the canonical form. Then second one, then find out the extraneous attribute, if any. If extraneous on the left hand side of every FD, you check. If extraneous attribute is there, you eliminate that particular FD having the extraneous. Then third one, then you will have to find out any FD which is logically implying the other FD. Then you will remove that particular FD from the set, and you will repeat this step again and again, and you will remove all the redundancies, and finally you will get the minimal cover of a set of functional dependencies. So students, in today's lecture we discussed how to find out the redundant set of functional dependencies. Then we saw the concept of cover. Then we discussed about the equivalent set of functional dependencies. Then how to find out the minimal set of functional dependencies. Then how to find out the minimal cover. In the next class, we will discuss about the normalization, what are the different normal forms, and we will discuss each with suitable examples. Be safe at home, enjoy a lot, and if any difficulty is there, then on WhatsApp you can contact me. Thank you very much.